not going to complain that we got you today.
Thank you.
I'm not, I know it was a hard drive, but it was worth it for us.
It's worth it. For me too, I finally met him. I know him well.
How do you know Jeff?
He added me on Facebook.
That's it?
That's it.
Wow.
And
Well, I'm
it's
adding you on
maybe
Facebook.
2 years ago already. He added me on Facebook.
I'm adding you on Facebook, and if you have any clever, tasteful nudes, you can use them today.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, so that's how we know each other. And we had some funny posts, and I had many funny posts, and that's when we started chatting a little. And then now he invites me.
Well, I'm honored you're here. When a beautiful Russian band comes in to talk to us, I'm very happy.
Well, I hope I did everything right.
It's 7:05. Ready to go?
Let's go.
Yeah. Do your live stream. Let's set you up for your live stream.
Let's go, ladies and
My
gentlemen.
Facebook? Should I have to go to my Facebook? What if I don't go live to
Huh?
my Facebook? Should I go?
Yeah, yeah.
Why? Let's
Yeah,
go in
because
your.
it
No, I don't want to go my Facebook that much.
Huh?
I don't want to go my Facebook that much.
Oh.
Is that fine?
Huh?
Does that have to? Is that necessary to be on my?
Well, yeah, it's a personal record, and everybody could tune in, and it gets promotion.
Let's do your Facebook.
My phone doesn't work in here.
Okay, I'll do. I'm not about that much Facebook.
How to
How
go
about
right,
yours?
Russian band, put
How
this
about
on.
yours, Pat?
I don't have it.
Do
My
you?
camera's broken, remember?
I can give you my phone. Go to add log in your Facebook and go live. I don't do much TV and radio.
I've never
I go
done
open
this.
and I
I've
don't do
never
those
done-
things
Yeah.
on my social media that much, honestly.
Okay.
If you don't mind, we can post pictures and stuff like that. They can go and check on YouTube, but I'm not about to go live that long. There's too many people. They just bother me a lot.
Well, we're happy to have you on, Don. Well,
Should I have this on?
Yeah, is it, yes. I'm putting
This
it
is a side feed mic. You talk right in.
Okay. Cool. Let's turn these things off.
Start the theme song, Junior. Testing, 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
This is for punk lighting.
There we go.
You guys, you forgive me for my English, right?
Every time you say
This is
little
not
or
just-
English or Facebook, you
we
become
go.
more adorable to our readers, our listeners.
Here we go.
You gotta dance like that at the beginning of every show we do.
Good morning.
Or Guten Tag.
It's Thursday on the Jeff Sargent Show at Chaotic Radio with my co-host Janky.
Morning, gang.
Oh, and our special guest all the way from Russia, the beautiful Marina Soroka.
Hi, guys.
Hello, Marina.
Everyone.
Your adorable accent combined with your charming visuals.
Cheers.
I hope everything's working here okay. Well, our engineer is not here. Dan is out sick.
Jen is
Jimmy Shaw, I wish you were here helping us out.
One-man band time, people. This is sink or swim. And by the
Yeah,
way,
sink
Dutchie
or
was here-
swim.
Dutchie was here to help yesterday, but Marina was not. So
All right.
So, Marina, how do you say your name? The front and second. First
Marina.
Marina, second.
Yeah, I have my special accent, but well, it sounds Marina, but to me it's Marina.
Marina.
Say this.
Marina.
Say little again.
Marina.
No, say the word little.
Little?
Oh, yeah.
Little.
It's adorable.
Oh, okay. You're trying my accent, right?
Your Russian accent makes everything better.
Thank you. Hopefully it doesn't bother you guys.
Say glasnost.
Glass nose?
Yeah.
Hi.
Well, I was just talking to her. Where in Russia are you from?
From Moscow.
Wow.
Yeah.
And now let's talk about you've been a competitive figure skater
Yes.
for 3/4 of your life. You know what I mean?
For since I was 5, I started skating at age 5, and maybe I finished at age 18 because some sad part of my life when I got married. I'm just kidding. And then I got pregnant and I got my child. I stopped skating, but I've been skating most of my life, and then I back to the ice again at age 25.
Good.
So and then as a coach and then as an international judge. So all my life, mostly since I was 5, I stopped maybe only for 5 years, the period I had my child and I was raising him, and then that's it.
I saw the picture. You were just, 6 years old, you said?
Five.
Five years old. And there was a picture of you looked like Pippi Longstocking with the braids
There
going
you
up.
go.
That's an adorable picture.
The picture, the one with those here,
Yeah.
it was back in 1982, and it was the Cup of Russia, and I was the smallest one, the youngest one that was invited for the show for that big event. That was my very first huge big event to be in.
Wow.
Yeah, I was pretty good. I wasn't bad. Of course, I'm going to be honest, it was back Soviet Union time. And in Soviet Union, it means 15 republics, and it's competitive country. So everybody back then, and now too, every family has skater. I would say every other family has skater, and it's very competitive, and it's not me. There is a lot of good skaters back then, but I was the luckiest one to be in that event. I was chosen, and I was there. The picture you saw.
Wow. Yeah, the picture you can see on our the show's Facebook page shows this little wee one. Looks like Pippi Longstocking spinning around in the ice.
Yeah. Did you see those Pippi Longstocking movies when you were a child?
Of course, I've seen them.
She's the world's strongest girl.
Well, Marina's only been speaking English for 3.5 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
And she speaks it better than you do,
And
Jeff.
I apologize for any mistake I do in
You
English.
speak
but-
very well. You can speak better English than a lot of people that grew up here.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
thank you. Well, don't say that.
And your accent's adorable. Any mistake.
Okay.
I'm going to get a series of English words for you to say with your Russian accent.
So your son lives here as well.
Yeah, my son lives here as well. He lives with me. Soon he's going to be 24. I'm
Wow.
26.
She's so
I'm just
young.
kidding.
She went to school with her son.
When we're, let's say, at the store and he turns around, it's a big, big boy, and he goes like, Mom, can we get this? And the people around, what? I'm like, I adopt him at age maybe 20.
Don't call me mother in front of you.
what
Make me look old.
Yeah, what
said
happened
that-
when you skate, so you kind of freeze. You never
Wow.
age.
Does he play hockey? Does he like hockey?
He does like hockey. He skates pretty well, but he never liked ice skating as a boy when he was a little child, and then he was pretty good. Maybe it's genes, and I'm like, you're going to be competing, my son. And he turns around looking at me. You know what? I will never put those sparkly dresses on me. I won't compete. I can skate, but I will never compete. So he chose to be a boxer for 7 years.
Really?
And he is a professional diver. He swims well for 12 years.
Wow.
But now he studies, he works and things like that. And he recently moved to United States 2 years ago. So he's still traveling back and forth. And most of my family back in Russia. And then he goes there and come back. And I go there and come
That's
back.
amazing.
But, well, I'm becoming a citizen of United
Yahoo!
States.
Let me know when you
Yeah.
graduate, because we'll come and we'll serenade you with back in the USSR.
There you go. I will.
Speaking of back in the USSR, you just recently took a trip back, didn't you?
I was in summertime, yes.
Yeah, in
For
the
a couple of
summertime. I saw
months.
the pictures you posted. Those are beautiful.
Yeah, and, well, my family, my father, my mother, my brother, everybody lives there. I live with my
So it's just you and your brother, the only siblings?
Yes, the only siblings.
Who do you
He's
cons-
not in sport at
Who
all.
do you consider the greatest Russian athlete? I was wondering if you agreed with me, and it was Ivan Drago.
I haven't. Actually, you've been. Yeah. That's the honest.
Ivan Drago, you heard it here first, people.
Oh, what a great actor he was.
He was. Where is he now?
He's here making movies.
Oh, why
He-
he didn't invite me ever?
Wow. I'm going to try and keep you as far away from him. Hubba, hubba.
Well,
So what skaters did you look up to?
Yeah, who are your heroines?
when you were a kid and you were, so I'm going to be a champion. I'm going to.
well, back
compete.
then, back my times, it was the most famous couple, the Irina Rodnina. Right?
And speak
she's
right in
been-
here, by the way.
Oh,
Yeah, there. Well, perfect.
Irina
There you go.
Rodnina, and she was 5-time world champion and 3 times an Olympic champion. and stuff like that. And I was really, and then Yekaterina Gordeeva, the couple too, they've been great, the world champions and Olympic champions. I was wishing to become as they are, but life took me in different ways. Like since I got married at very early age, but I was still good. I was competing in world championship and stuff like that as a teenager until age 18.
You didn't marry a coach, did you?
Yeah. Well, Russia has many beautiful skaters back then and now. You know, it's some genetical thing, I would say, and also it's very popular type of sport. As soccer in United States, right? The same things like figure skating and skiing, everything that connected to the cold, to the ice, to the snow. It's very popular for the Russians, and then it was many, many beautiful skaters back then, and now too. And I'm gonna be telling you this, that the figure skating, as the other sports too, it improved a lot. It develops, and back then, the Irina Rodnina that I'm talking to, the couple, they've been doing maybe one or two triple jumps. For nowadays, even girls, they trying to do quad jumps.
Wow.
You know what am I saying? Like at age 16, there is a Russian girls that they do a couple of quad jumps, 13 and 14 and 16.
Wow.
It seems a little
Like,
young
it's
to get them doing that. Isn't that a little really hard on the legs?
It is because figure skating is one of the most hardest sports in the world because of the cold, because the skates are pretty heavy. I would say 3 pounds, 4 pounds each. It's like extra weight on your feet. And every time we jumped and we landing on one foot. So your body weight absorbs like 8 times
Wow.
more of your weight. Let's say if you throw the phone, it crashes because of the gravity, because of it gain weight, right? So the same thing with the body. And during each practice, figure skaters might do probably 60 to 80 jumps.
Wow.
Every time with that weights on and things, you know, it's very difficult. Very, very difficult. I wouldn't say, and then sometimes people say, wow, you guys are living the healthiest life. You're in a sport, you're athletes. None of the professional athletes is very healthy. You know, we get so many injuries.
Oh, man.
Not even me. The pair skaters, I'm talking not about dancers, but the pair skaters that they have all those lifts and drums, and when the guy throw you away and he never catch you, I'm just
Wow, who wouldn't catch you, Marina?
And the ice is very hard. It's like hitting
and
cement.
ice, and it was many bad falls too for some pair skaters, even single skaters. I have my left knee injury and
Oh,
my
do you
left
really?
knee.
How'd
Yes,
you hurt
my
your
left
left knee?
knee on the ice. I got a couple of 3 traumas, injuries, and it's replaced. I have titanium knee. It doesn't ring, but still. I'm just
Oh,
kidding.
wow.
Yeah, but those things, I mean, I always said, and a couple of my friends, they always laugh when I said, we are soldiers, you know. To become a professional athlete is to be a soldier. It's not only about just go and compete. You have to be ready for failure. You have to be ready for the winning. And it's not only physically, it's mentally.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah, it's just,
Have you ever fallen in front of a crowd? You know?
of course I did.
What do you do?
I still do.
You
When you still watch the Olympics ice skating, you'll see somebody just screw up right from the get.
Well, that's the problem with competition. That's very different. The practice and competition are very different things. Let's say for the big event is coming is February 9th, the Olympic Games in South Korea, right? And some of the skaters, the guys or the girls, they do quad jumps during the practice, easy. But when it comes the time for the competition, they might fall. It's because of the nervous system, the mental system, you know, it's too much stress. And then you stand behind the doors, you're watching another skater to compete if they did well. So you have to do more better to win and stuff like that. You know, it's
And you're in front of the huge crowd.
crowd.
And they're all looking at you. Wait, you know.
They're looking at you, they whistle, they make noises, they just cheering you up, or maybe somebody doing something specially opposite to distract you, you know.
Who would do something opposite to distract you, Marina?
No,
The
to
people
me,
want the
I
other
would-
person to win.
well,
Jeff and I will
would
beat
shoot
those
them.
men
I'm
to
just
death.
kidding. Not me only, but to everybody else, you know. You've seen the movie I, Tanya, right? You
Yeah,
heard about it.
I just
right?
got
And
it from
this is a-
SAG. It's great.
And this is the true story. And since they both were very famous skaters, so it become as a movie too. So it's written about it. There is a story, but it happened to many other athletes too that they weren't that many famous. You know, they got so many injuries, but it's okay. This is
Wow, no, that's now when you're doing like the spin.
Uh-huh.
Is that hard on you? You're whipping your hair back, throwing your body back.
the layback spins. Of course, actually all the spins are not that easy to keep the balance, the vertical position, the center. It's
It
a lot
looks
of
so
training.
easy and graceful. I watch your videos.
When
Yeah.
I
And she
do
goes
that-
on the ice, and then she spins and goes faster and faster and goes down, and then pops up and gracefully comes out.
Jeff's been creeping on your Facebook page for a while. I've just started today, but
But you are not on my page.
well, I will be now.
I watch every video, and it's amazing the
Thank
balance
you.
and control. And I mean, how do you keep from getting dizzy? I mean, you're spinning.
Exactly. When you do
Yeah,
a spin
that's
like
the-
She's
that.
right
the
there in the
process.
center, and just picking up
By
that
the way,
momentum.
by the way, you just rephrased the question she was answering.
Well, that's the practice. Well, I've been doing it for years, and I've been doing it much better when I was a child and teenager. Now I'm 42, and I just
You
do that
do
for
not
fun.
look it. Wow.
I don't thank you. But
Holy moly!
still.
Thank your
I
parents.
thought you were in
SMG.
your 20s.
Yeah.
Oh, I wish.
Wow! Wow! Wow!
Actually, mentally, I don't wish to be in my 20s, but
Yeah.
physically, I wish to.
But what was the hardest part of figure skating? What were some of the hardest things for you to do?
The triple jumps.
Wow.
The triple jumps, and back then in my times, not that many girls. They've been doing, of course, before me and while I was doing that, but some of the triple jumps, actually, the jump calls Lutz. The jump goes from, you jump backward, and that was the hardest one. I got it in some point, but I wouldn't say that was my best jumps ever to do, but I got it. Well, I got a couple of injuries on my left knee back then, which was replaced later, of course.
Your
but
knee's been
during-
replaced, really?
One of my knees
Wow.
replaced, yeah.
Well, how do
You're
you
like the
do your,
bionic woman.
what's your therapy to get back on the ice after your knee replacement?
Well, if
What's
you
your
listen to my
therapy?
doctor, he would fight to me if I do all those things that I'm doing now. But it's okay. The recovery took me maybe 2.5 months after the replacement. But it's just
Amazing.
That's fast.
that's like 2.5, 3 months. But
That's
still,
almost too fast. Do you think they would
because of me.
Wow! Wow! Wow!
I make a lot of effort.
No, that's impressive. But have you ever broken a leg skating?
Leg? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's my left knee.
But did you break it?
Of course. That was an issue to
Wow!
replace it. Yeah. That's very painful.
Shit, sounds like it.
Don't worry. People do
So this happens on the ice,
on the ice. On the ice.
quite often with a lot of people. I mean, they could break their ankles or twist their
Everything.
ankles.
Yeah, and you don't have to be professional skater to do that. But sometimes what happens, actually professional skaters, they break the legs and arms much often than just the regular people who skate for fun. Just because of the tricks we do. I mean, the jumps and spins. Actually, single skaters, the guys, the men, right? They do some quad jumps, the quad combination jumps, and they trying to do saltos on the ice, the flip overs and things. The guys are more risky, so they get more injuries on the ice. But they still get back to the ice, and they still competing. And now the Olympics games on February 9th, right? And one of the best skaters that we'll see if he's going to win, the Yuzuru Hainu from Japan. He recently got injury, I guess, on his right ankle, and he is right-handed, and he's landing on his right foot. but still he's going to be competing with his 3-quad jumps and stuff like that.
Wow.
You know, he recently got injured like 1.5 months ago, and he rejected to well, before the Olympic Games there is many Grand Prix that you get in your scores to qualify for the Olympic Games. He was qualified before, but still he refused to be in one of the Grand Prix 1.5 months before, just because of the injury. And they were in doubt if he's gonna make it to the Olympics, but he's gonna make it.
Wow. And if I can ask about, the Russians have been banned this year for a doping scandal. You want to? I'm sorry to bring that up, but it's kind of.
No, don't worry. This is actually a very, how would say in English, the controversial issue. It's matter of dispute. You know, we can argue, we can talk about it a lot. That was happened back 4 years ago in Sochi. But they said it happened in Sochi, that the Russian team used the doping. I don't want to say anything. The mistake occurred from the both or 3 sides, in my opinion. If the Russian team did the doping, so they testified them before the competition, why do they let them to compete, right? So they competed, and one of the girls, she won the Olympic Games and stuff like that. And 1 month before nowadays, for another Olympics in Korea, Russian team got disqualified in December. I mean, and the competition, like, because you did that, like, back then 4 years ago, and the mistake occurred, like, from IOC, in my opinion, the International Olympic Committee, and ISU, which is International Skating Union too. There's some disorganized things. We don't know, and this was unfair. I'm not saying that Russia didn't do that, because Russian Federation admitted, but the current skaters have nothing to do with what happened 4 years ago in Sochi.
And they're being punished, it seems unfairly,
the
right?
punishment goes to the skaters and the coaches, that they made so much effort to be in the Olympic Games. And you know what is the Olympic Games for the professional skaters? It's just a once in a lifetime for some of them, and this is the first or the last time for some of them. So they cannot make it another Olympic Games. It's going to be 4 years later.
Wow.
So just now they're going to be competing. The Russia will be competing, but not under the Russian flag, unfortunately, under the ISU, International Skating Union flag.
Oh,
And
wow.
the punishment, and it was a long decision to make if they going to compete or not. And then the president of Russia, Vladimir Putin, made a decision to let the skaters, just because they were prepared and they've been doing this.
Yeah, it'd be a shame. You guys own figure skating basically at the Olympics, and it'd be a shame for people not to see them perform, you know?
I mean,
You
it's
know,
expected
just
from
like-
everybody.
Yeah.
It's just like not to see Russian skaters in Olympics. It's nothing. Honestly, I mean,
Yeah.
America has beautiful skaters. Japan have beautiful skaters. Everybody has Canada, German, France, but not to see Russian skaters, like expectedly the first 2 places in Olympics. It's just kind of, and all the tickets were sold out. So many tourists visit Korea just because of the Olympics, and the hotel were reserved and things like that. It's all about the money issue too, you know, financially. And the Russia not going to be there. I mean, they're going to be there, but when there is no flag, it's kind of a
Yeah,
sad
you need
and
the flag
too
there,
much,
yeah.
too much stress. Honestly, there's too much stress. But you know, those big scandals sometimes happening. One of the biggest scandals back in 2002, and I guess the Olympics were here in Salt Lake City. While so 2 pair skaters, one from Russia and Canadian skaters, they should share the first place together. Okay, and one of the friends judges, she was disqualified for discoring them or put a more score that they did deserve, due to that big scandal, because it's an Olympic Games, you can't share. Well, it's not necessary to share the first place together.
Right.
So the French judge was disqualified, and then judging system of figure skating was completely changed by ISU. So before, if you ever watched the figure skating before, it was like when they put in your score 5.6, 5.8, blah blah blah, and it has been changed, and it divided in two different components. One is a 5 components, which includes the skating skills, choreography, representation, the costume you wear, and stuff. The other score is a technical score. But the system has been changed, and I became an international judge exactly in 2002.
Oh, you did?
Yes,
Congratulations.
Wow.
I became an international.
That's
judge.
amazing. Was that exciting?
It was very exciting.
How did you go get that position? I mean, what did you do for yourself? Say, I want to be part of this?
Yes.
And-
You ask your federation, or your federation, they choose you as a knowledgeable person who knows the details. To be a very good skater and to be a teacher is a very different things. You might know many things, but to transfer your knowledge and to know the technique is a different thing. So my federation chose me, but I used to go to a couple of 3 seminars that they teach you how to judge. I mean, how to watch the whole details. I went to Bulgaria first, and then to Finland, and then to Switzerland, which is the main office of ISU, the Lausanne, city Lausanne in Switzerland. So then you pass in your tests. The tests is you're going to the competition, and you're judging with already professional judges at the same time. So, and they compare the scores you put, the way you judge. You passed it, you're not. So I passed that in 2002. And I was too young, 26, 25, I don't know. And since then, I've been traveling a lot, and I was judging all the competitions, including Olympic Games in Torino and stuff. Like 14 countries per year, because it's not only World, Europe, and a World Championship Europe or Olympic Games. There is Grand Prix, there is Cups, there is 4 continents, and I would say 14 countries a year. And due to my job, that I'm thankful for, I've been in 63 countries. That all the 63 countries are involved in figure skating. So 63 countries have the federations and have the skaters. Some of the countries, they have the federation. Let's say Andorra, they have the federation located in Andorra, but they have the skaters skating in United States. But it doesn't matter. They still represent their own countries. And all of it. And then 4 years ago, I just decided to stay in United States. I've been in United States.
Hey.
Yes.
And not just the United States, you became a California girl.
California girl. I got tired of the
That's
snow.
amazing. The passport must be filled with stamps.
Yeah,
I mean, you must have every page filled with stamps.
I was changing maybe 3 or 2 times at least my passports back then, because
you run out of pages to stamp, so you
all
need
the
another
time.
one.
Yes, we always needed visa. I don't know, the American citizens, they don't need that many visa, but we have to. Anyways, and then finally, I've been in United States maybe like 17 times before I moved to live, but I've been in different states for my competition, in East Coast mostly, New York, New Jersey, Washington, and stuff like that.
Where it's a lot colder.
A lot colder.
It's way too hot for an ice queen like you. I mean, we've had a very hot winter, and I want to put on the layer. I want this snow. There's nothing in the mountains, you know.
Well, I'm going to Big Bear sometimes with my friends, with my son, but I see so many fake snow in there. I'm just
I know.
I do love when you say Big Bear.
Big Bear. My accent.
Leave it
but
to a
Big Bear.
Russian to find a Big Bear.
Well, you can find the Big Bear everywhere.
Wow.
Back in there. So, like, open the door and you see that all the time.
Now, where you grew up, was it rural or was it in the city?
The city. Yes, I'm a city girl. I'm from the center of the city, and then I'll tell you this, for nowadays and back then, everything was different. So it was a Soviet Union, which is like 15 republic altogether made a union. And when you are chosen to represent the Soviet Union team, and it was different team from the Soviet Union. I was representing the Burevestnik, it calls. So we used to travel and live in different countries too. I mean, I've been living in Odessa a long while, is in Ukraine for a couple of years. I was training there with some other coach, and I've been living in, let's say, in Uzbekistan for 1 month, and then we've been practicing different countries of the Soviet Union too.
Wow.
So, but I am a city girl. Yes, I'm from the center of the city, and I moved to the city too, to Los Angeles. I'm like,
wow. But now, as an ice queen, what do you think of? What do you love about Southern California? What is your favorite parts of being here?
the beaches. Go to the Malibu beach, Manhattan beach.
Manhattan?
Yes.
Not
Of
Santa
course.
Monica? No love for Santa Monica?
Not really.
Wow.
Well, I mean, it's fun to take a walk, maybe, but the water
promenade?
Yeah.
to swim, I go to swim in Malibu Beach.
Yeah.
Mostly, that's what I like to do. The warm weather, warm people. To me, I don't know. Some people they said that California is too warm, but people are not really. I don't see that. I see people really warm. They're really friendly. At least to me, I never met any neck. I'm no negative
That's
people.
a shock, isn't it, Jeff? That so many Californians would be nice to her.
Oh, yeah.
It is. I've been working in different ice rinks, and I have my friendship. It's not my friendship only connected to the ice rink, but due to my job. I've been working at Iceland, which located in Van Nuys. So I've been working with them maybe 3 years. I have a beautiful friendship at that ice rink. I have my beautiful friendship at LA Kings Valley Ice that I'm representing now.
Yay, go team.
The manager is Lloyd Easer. He's an Olympic and world champion of pair skating. He's managing the ice rink,
Wow.
and I work with many other beautiful coaches. Actually, California has one of the top coaches right now. New York has too, but due to the weather, most of the top coaches, even for figure skating, they moved to California. My coach, my very first coach, Rafael Harutyunyan, he lives in here, Salt Lake. He was living in Lake Arrowhead. Am I pronouncing it?
Yes.
Go ahead. Yes.
Yes, now he lives in Lakewood, and he's one of the top coaches in the world. So,
Wow.
yeah, he represents the team of United States and all the beautiful skaters. Naran Chen, the man, the first national champion of United States, he's Rafael's son. So
Oh, he
Michelle
is?
Kwan, yeah, Michelle Kwan was skating with him. Ashley Wagner right now, he's student too. So he lives in here too. I
Wow.
mean, but there is also many other good, like beautiful coaches in LA. But still, everybody moves to California. Why not me?
Sure. Why not you? We need more big-eyed blondes in California.
I don't want to compare myself, honestly, with those top
We
coaches.
will. We
No.
totally will.
But I'm still 26. I have time.
Exactly.
That's right.
Exactly.
I still have a time.
What is the biggest ice rink? Are they all basically the same size? Are these
No,
where
they
people
are
train?
not basically not the same size. There is Olympic size, there is standard size, and there is smallest ice rink. The Toyota Center,
Oh, and Honda, the Honda
the
Ponda.
Honda
Yeah.
Park, and NHL in Anaheim. And then nowadays the new skating rink in Pasadena, they are the Olympic size. The one that I skate right now is just a little shorter. The LA Kings Valley Ice is just a little smaller than the Olympic size, but it's standard size for the competition.
Wow.
So the Olympic size, they can organize those ice rink allowed to organize international competition. The smallest ice rinks, they can do nationals, they can do some small competition, maybe like California competition, but it's not that small. I mean, I'm not good at inches, honestly. I know meters. We measure
Meters.
with
What is this metric system you speak of?
it's just like 62 meters is an Olympic size, and 2 meters less is the regular ice that I skate at.
Let me help you. Jeff is 4 stone.
Come on, let me tell you, you're bigger, right?
Yes. Why, yes, I am.
Five of you, it's almost the Olympic size of the rink.
He would be a good hockey goalie.
I love hockey.
I don't think they'd get the puck very much past.
I could not let that happen. We have to ask, what did you love the most about figure skating, and what did you hate?
What I hate?
What did you love and hate about figure skating?
Okay. That's the very interesting question. There is nothing that I hate besides punishing the skaters for nowadays, honestly. I love competing, and I understand that every skater might win or lose, which is okay, but when they get punished for no reason, those things that unfair things, and it always been before and now even more, because too much politics in figure skating right now. It all depends what country you represent, who's behind you, because it's all about money for nowadays. Before, back then, my time, the good skaters, they were getting paid too, but it wasn't all about money, but the privileges you were getting. So many things were free for professional skaters.
You get the sponsorships.
They got it, yeah. But now they just get paid. They directly, every skater, they get paid for the first place, second place, third place. And then when you're among the 10 good skaters, you're going to be invited to the shows to compete, to participate in the shows. Ice shows are where you're getting paid more. So to be in those 10 places, it all depends what country you represent too. Those things are a little
there's
harmful.
a lot of, there must be, how many companies are out there selling competition blades for your skates?
Oh, there's so many companies.
They sponsor everybody, right, for their...
Well, actually, they are not sponsoring nobody. They just sponsoring themselves. Every skater gets they get sponsored by the federation they represent, by the country, by the government they represent. Yes, not the coaches. Coaches not getting, so they don't have sponsors. So skaters have to pay for the coach. But the skaters, they got sponsorship from the federation, from the government they represent too. So government is behind you.
Wow.
Now, did you get you were saying the government is behind you.
Yeah.
So is that for good or bad? Is the government critical of mistakes you might make?
Of course. It's for good and for bad because, every human being, actually the athlete, they might do mistake at any time. So, you get punished for any mistake too because they pay a lot. But for the good skaters, let's say, I'm going to talk about good Russian skaters, right? Let me not to speak much about Americans, since I do know even Ashley Wagner. She owns many things too. But so Evgeny Plushenko, one of the famous skaters for nowadays from Russia, he owns his couple of ice rinks right now. So the government, they just give him that.
Wow.
Like, it was as a gift. With his name
a hell
on
of a
it,
gift.
you have this. He represents the. He has a partnership with the Levi's jeans.
Oh, Levi's jeans, yeah, that's adorable.
He does those things, because you're famous. You propaganda, you do the advertisement for this and those companies. But you have to be tough and fight for it. You can't lose. You're trying to.
Did you advertise a lot of jeans or stuff when you were skating competitively?
Me? No, I never done it.
That blows my mind.
Well,
there's got to be endorsements, right?
Back then it was a little different system. Right now, those advertisement things,
Yes.
they become like, I've been skating since 1980s and 90s, right? And after 2000, from the 2002 and 3, the things has been changed, and there's so many commercial things. Everybody invests money. They want to make the advertisement for this company and that. But I did couple of commercial for the what how is in English the candies I was representing on the eyes, the factory.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. I had them on CD, but I don't have them with me right now. Yes, I did couple of commercial for one for the clothing store, one for the candy, for the factory. I did after I stopped skating, and I was a coach back then already when I did it.
Wow.
So just like people knew me, they invite me.
You've never been approached for doing any skating work for films or movies and doing scenes?
I did, and well, I was doing the TV shows back then in my countries, live shows, live stream shows like this. I was inviting the good athletes or singers or things like that for the movies, and honestly, no, not for the movies.
How could they not put you in a Russian movie?
That was, I remember that movie, the one big ice skating movie, Ice Castles.
Ice Castles.
Ice Castles.
I know the writer of that.
Lynn Holly Johnson.
Lynn Holly Johnson started out as a dirty movie, and then it became, it was originally going to be a dirty movie, and then they
actually, from my dad's side, we have
Cutting edge.
actors and stuff in
Oh, you
my
do?
family. Yes, we do have it. But my life went in the other direction when I chose to be a judge.
Wow.
When you becoming a judge, an international judge, the thing has been changed for me. I wouldn't even teach. You're not allowed to teach any skater.
Are you
can
serious?
teach couple of skaters, yes, to not represent them, not pushing them, not supporting them. There is an issue, and I've been doing it for 12, 13, 14 years, and they stopped you from everything. You know, you can't be involved that much in the professional. You can't be around the rinks all the time. I mean, you can go and watch the skaters that you're gonna judge, but to be involved in the shows, even competitive skaters right now, they can't be in the ice shows, the ice stars shows, the ones that they competing right now currently in Olympics or in World Championship. They not can be in the ice shows and
Are
things
you
like
serious?
this. Yeah.
So they're worried about the judges being in conspiracy, that would cause getting too close or personal
Yes.
with other
students
and
like the things like that. Yes.
Would you ever do like Disney on Ice? Did you ever do any show?
I did something like that back in my country. I would like to maybe, but I chose that direction, and now I'm too old. I mean, I'm not too old to do that.
We're not believing a word.
I think it's amazing.
Like,
All these ice capade shows, you know, they do Little Mermaid or whatever, and you're
it's
in a big
beautiful.
crab costume and you're skating around, and it must be really hard to skate.
Yeah, but
with
some of them, they got to be a 3 all the time on the ice. They do
Oh,
nothing.
that's
I
it?
mean, depends what level you're skating and what you choose and how much you're going to get paid. Don't forget, I'm a mom. I'm 24, and I got in a
23 and a half this Christmas.
23 and a half this Christmas, and I got in a different stage of my life when I just work, I make money, I live, you know. I mean, if I was 25 right nowadays, because I'm telling you, back then and right now, things has been changed.
Oh, yeah.
It's completely different life we're living in right now. Even the social media and everything that goes around, you know. I would love to do those shows more. But since now I'm okay. I'm pretty close to all those famous skaters and everybody else. Everybody know me in person.
But they say, Marina, we want you to be Minnie Mouse on the ice.
Yeah.
Would you wear a Minnie Mouse costume?
Well, no.
Come on.
I mean, those big bodysuits. And they skate so fluidly.
Well, this is my character. I'm an Aries. Okay. I love to be competitive. Either I have everything or nothing.
Wow.
If I can't do right now, let's say, I do double jumps still, even though I'm not that young. I still do that.
Oh,
but I
please.
would love to do triple jumps and being in the shows and do triple jumps and show yourself the best. Because in the show, as I told you, it's somebody just pausing as a tree and somebody doing triple jumps. I mean, whatever it is, because not everybody chose to be a professional skater, professional athlete. Some of them, they just chose skating for fun. And what I like about United States the most in now, what I never seen back then in my country, but just because of the country, the adult skating. Adult people, they come to learn to skate.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like you can be 45, you can be 52. There is no age limit. There is skaters, she's 86. I've seen her many times in ISI, International Skating Institute competition. She skates around for the California. She competing as an adult skater. But we didn't have that in Soviet Union. I mean, you could be an adult skater and skate for your family. I don't know, whoever cheer you up, but whoever, I don't know, for your friends. But we didn't have any time those adult skating competition. But, somehow people need to be fine with things they chose. Maybe some dream they come true. Like you can see yourself as a skater, right? You dress up as a figure skater, even if you're 80-something and go to compete.
Yeah.
And we're sitting and I am able to teach here and beginners and competitive skaters and teach adults. It's just like too much fun, too much different thing. It's like much more easier to work and fun. It's not too much stress sometimes. When you teach adult, you're just having fun, and it's so much connection. You can talk. You don't have to be into stress. Oh, she's going to be competing. She's not going to do her double jumps. I'm not going to be looking like a good coach in the competition, all the stuff, because everybody, it's not me, every coach, when you represent a skater, you just want to feel yourself like you're some of the best, all the time, every time. And when you're a student not competing well, it's just a sad story. You come home, you cry a little bit, but at least you got paid. I'm just
I hate that you had to cry a little bit.
Most of your students are young.
I have 10, 12, 15. Now I have a guy, he skates with me. He came from Japan. He skates with me. He's 21. I have 4. I have 3. I have different ages. That's what am I saying. Whoever wants to learn to skate, we're able to teach them. Not only me, every coach. This is the California law, and we can teach anybody. I even work with hockey players.
Do you really?
Wow.
I do.
Do you work with rain players?
Yeah, of course. Well, hockey players, usually the top good hockey players, they are the figure skaters in the past, because I explain you why. We have different blades. We have the top.
Really?
Yeah, of course. We have completely different blades, and our sport calls figure skating because we can make the figures on the ice that it's sometimes impossible to do with hockey skates. But it's impossible. Let's say you can spin well as I do on hockey skates. The skate is too straight and then it's rounded a little, but it doesn't have the topics and those sharp edges that the figure skates have. But to be able to move back and forth and do some of the tricks, you have to learn to skate on figure skates. Then you transfer to hockey skating.
Wow, because I always wondered about that.
I had no idea, yeah.
Because I know when I went to the ice skating rink, just as a public ice skating rink, we got one in here in Ontario.
Yeah, that's Citizens Bank Arena.
We had flat blades, and they were maybe like an 1/8 wide on the bottom.
Do they have the topics in front, square, or just a square with nothing?
They were like square, heavy blades, real thick.
Oh, okay, that was a hockey skate.
Yeah.
And for the beginners, actually, it's really difficult to start on hockey skates.
Really, it's better on with the sharper.
Yeah, of course. It's matter. It's matter. So the figure skates are much more. The blades are helpful to stop, to push, and things like that. And then even competitive hockey skaters, sometimes they take lessons with professional figure skating coaches to improve their skating skills. As for crossovers, for movements, we use the outside edge of the blades. We use the inside of the edge of the blades or the flat blades, how to move, like to make the 3 turns, the turns from back to forth and back and stuff like that. So for the improving, they sometimes skate with figure skaters too.
So does it make a difference? I mean, the hockey's, as far as length, as competition and hockey skates, is there a length difference?
Yeah, the hockey skates is not a length difference. It's the size matter of your shoes. But the length is for speed skating and short speed skater. Have you seen the speed skaters?
Those look really long.
They are really long, pretty straight. They have nothing, no topics, nothing. It's just a blade straight and big and huge, and it's matter of the size.
Because they're pushing,
and
they want that blade to slice it,
and then they crossing over, so the blade have to be very big, and those are huge skates. I tried them myself a couple of times. It's really, even though I'm a professional skater, it's a lot of difference you feel. And they have a lot more muscles on the legs because.
Oh yeah, I've seen the huge, massive thighs.
Even if you see women, they have huge legs, which is beautiful. I mean, the bodybuilders wish to get that.
Really? They can. Well, now let me ask you: would you pick when you were competitive skating? Would you pick the music or would you coach?
The music or coach?
When you were performing and they'd play the music while you skated. Would you get to pick the music, or would your coach? Really?
Yeah.
What did you say?
A lot of the style, I see the movement is fluid with the music playing.
Of course.
It's all synchronized.
It have to be synchronized. Even your dress, you can get deduction for choosing a wrong color or type of dress, or not having the hairstyle that matches the music, the makeup, and everything.
Wow, I didn't realize that.
That's one of the 5 components that you get deduction, or
are you serious?
Of course, everything, and that's for single skating. You can choose any music you wanted to, but for ice dance, they have specific music too. Let's say everybody gonna compete down the salsa music or samba music or Spanish Latino music, flamenco. So all the 21 or 24 skaters, they competing by choosing Latino music, let's say flamenco, right? And they have to be dressed as a Spanish.
Wow! Oh yeah, so flamenco.
Everything have to be done like that, or you're gonna get deduction for those.
Wow!
If one sparkle from your dress fell on the ice, falls down on the ice, you're gonna get deduction. You have to be
even one little sequin sparkle,
like those things, because the other skaters, he might or she might step on that sparkle and fall down and get injured. So
just even any little bit of debris
like
could come in.
One little thing on the ice is just the most danger for the skaters. So everything have to be set up.
Let's say after during couples, and after one couple comes out, they do their thing. Do they clean the ice? Do they inspect for the neck before the next competitor comes out?
There is kids. There are, first of all, they get in those toys that they were thrown, all the flowers on the ice, right?
Yes.
Some kids, they come and pick up, and they watching around if any leaves maybe from the flowers fell down or stuff, they picking up before the other one goes on. But if there is little sparkle from your dress, you can't inspect all the time, because we have limited time for the competition, like 4 minutes of your routine and 3 minutes for the judges to judge you. So altogether, each competitor has 7 minutes limited time. So they have to inspect after you like 1 minute.
That's fascinating. Would the other girls try to play mind games? Like in America, you always have someone trying to psych you out. Would that happen there too?
Yeah.
Wow. What would they do? Tell us about that. Give us a Russian girl trying to psych another Russian girl out, make her feel bad before the competition.
Well, maybe
Maybe it's not that. Isn't more
No,
like
no,
It's
no,
not that.
Come
I
on.
don't know. They might even argue at the fitting room before, they said something, some nasty word. I don't know. That
But
just
it-
make you
it's
mad.
competition.
No,
Sure,
it's
go
a
on.
competition.
yeah. You're gonna
Don't
say
answer our guest
not putting
questions.
someone other down, or you're not.
Yeah.
It's like I'm just a little bit better, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a little.
Well, but that depends on your personality. Some
Right.
people, it's just a personality. Some of the, I just don't want to name, I don't want to call the name. It's not polite.
No, but I
it's
was
just
curious.
recently happened in nationals. There's one of the top skaters. She didn't behave well just because of, in her opinions, judges weren't that good, and she got some deduction that she didn't deserve. And she goes and she shows like something, that's the not good behavior. I mean, you're an athlete, you have to control yourself,
Yes.
You chose to be competitive, so you might win, you might lose, that you're in the game. Athlete is a game. You chose to be in the game. Like, you can't be the 100% stable winner. There is no perfection anywhere, not for figure skating, not for singers, not for anybody, right? And some of them, they did not behave well. I mean, no names, I don't want to call them, but
We need
I've been
names.
sitting
No.
there, I've been watching that. I disliked it, everybody disliked it, and like, to be so selfish and arrogant to think about yourself that you are one of the best, and since you're just not one of the best because you're best in the nationals, you still wasn't best in the Olympics or stuff like that. I mean, those things are happening, and it's negatively transferred to another skater after her because of her behavior. Those things happening, but it's okay. It's part of the game and the part of the life,
No, you mentioned Tanya. What did Tanya get right about figure skating?
Tanya, honestly, that's also a very complicated situation to me, because it was, I guess, in 1994 that those things, right, happening.
Yes.
And yeah, exactly the time my son was born. And let me tell you this, my opinion, okay? In my opinion, she's like 5 times a better skater. It's
Than
just
Nancy
no
Kerrigan,
words.
yeah.
Let's be honest.
And she was asthmatic. She was an asthmatic smoker, which makes Tanya even more amazing.
There's so many people smoking, the skaters smoking and drinking. You don't
Really?
need it. Yes.
They're not worried about the shortness of breath. The drinking is
pretty
fine.
bad. It's pretty bad. You don't have to do that. But she did, because she was doing that because of the stresses she going through,
I
the
can
family
imagine.
thing.
Yeah.
Okay? And in this situation, we all know her relationship, and we all know well her boyfriend. I mean, most of the people, they knew her boyfriend, right? And to blame her, it's my opinion, to be involved in that thing, I mean, it's just too much. Sometimes I don't believe she was involved. I can believe they don't like each other. Most of the competitive, let's be honest, I'm competing against some of the girls, and I'm going to fight for the medal. I can't love them. Let's be honest. I mean, you don't see, you sometimes looking at them as an enemy, actually the day of the competition. And if you're going to keep competing together for the period, let's say a couple of years, 3 years, you're just kind of an enemy. Is to say, like, she was nice. The other part,
You're not going to be having lunch together.
just let's be honest, it's just not happening. I mean, you're always nice when you get the first place, and then you're nice to everybody else, because I'm just talking as a 42 years old, okay? To be
24.
losing, and when you fight and you lose just for one deduction and you got the second place, you're gonna be the worst enemy for the other skater.
Wow.
I mean, in your soul. I'm not saying you're gonna do harmful things, but in Tonya case, she was one of the first skaters who did triple. She was the first skater who did triple axel. Okay, the triple axel. Axel itself is one of the hardest jump, because this is an incomplete rotation. What is the complete or incomplete? When we say the rotation, it means like 1 rotation, 2, 3, and 4. The axel, one of the jumps, we jump forward, and the rotation goes 1.5, 2.5, and a 3.5. And the time you're gonna open up after the 3.5 or 2.5, it's really have to be set up, and it's not easy to do. Axel is jump, and she is the first lady skater ever that did the triple axel. And the high of the jump, the height, it was like not even guys doing nowadays, okay? And honestly, she was out of the competition, in my opinion. If I was a judge back then, I was just putting her first places all the time.
Wow.
But in that situation that she was trying to harm another party, and it's like the movie shows even more dramatically than it seriously happened maybe back then, and it's just because it was about two famous girls. It became the huge stories.
Yeah.
And I don't want to blame her that much. I'm not saying it didn't happen, but in my case, maybe her boyfriend did it. I would believe because he was getting, he was investing money and he was getting back the money, and she was miserable. She was miserable in her motherhood family, and she was miserable with her boyfriend and things. I mean, not that much in her fault. And nowadays, she's not that loved just because of that situation. But too many people still fond of her, and they really welcome to see her. And it's a pleasure to see her around skating in different places. I know that.
I'm kind of happy she's getting a happy ending out of this. I always kind of felt bad for her. She was asthmatic. She was too tiny, and.
Let me tell you for example, in my case, I've been skating pretty well, and at the age 17, I fall in love with my ex-husband. Unfortunately, it was done 6 years later. Yes.
Bravo.
Yes. And what happened was I did completely changed while I was only in love. I'm not saying dramatical things were happening to me. I quit skating. I didn't want to go to my practice and things like that. But
bad habits.
Let me be honest. It was happiness in my heart. I was in love. But can you imagine the things we're going through? Tanya, in her family, when she was abused, when she wasn't loved, and going through those difficulties. And
it's horrible.
And I couldn't make really good competition just because I was in love. I was just like messing up with all my jumps and period I was in love, seriously. But she was going through drama, and she could make the triple axel.
Yeah, that she could do all that with all her personal problems.
Let's be honest. I just bow in front of her. She was a real, that's all talks about her strong personality. And be honest, if she could make that happen, to be that low and go harm anybody else, I don't believe that.
Yeah.
I mean, my opinion, okay? Everybody apologize me, whoever doesn't like my opinion.
No one apologize me. No.
I mean, I'm telling you the truth. She was a really strong person. I couldn't make those things. If I was in drama, I would just quit skating, and she made through. I mean, she's one of the... You can dislike her, but you can't deny the things she done, achievements she got.
Yes.
Honestly, nobody can deny. Like one little story made out of the big thing. Now, out of her bad story, the movie industry make money.
Yeah.
Seriously, people die. Michael Jackson died. People make money out of his death.
I mean, Michael Jackson made more money in 20 years after dying than he did when he was alive.
And then poor Tanya, and let's be honest, to be an athlete, you like a soldier for your country.
Right.
Every stage of athletes, because you like her stage of athletes that represent the country, represent the flag, and being thrown away like some of the veterans we see outside.
True.
You've been used for your flag, and now nobody cares. And nowadays, she doesn't have that good life with money. She has the money issues. I know she's not living that wealthy and stuff, but she's somebody who made the first triple jump, who represent the country that well, and they destroyed her future, everything just for one accidentally happened or whatever it is. And now even movie industry make money out of she went through, and she got nothing out of it.
What?
Well,
Nothing out of it.
Nothing.
She did get to meet. They did invite her down to the set. She probably got a couple donuts.
Oh my God,
Yeah,
that's horrible. I mean, she should have been compensated for that. Like, we're making a story on your
She
life.
might have been paid. I think she might have been paid for her rights, her life rights. It might have been based on a book.
Yeah.
When someone does that, Pat, don't they have to? When you're doing a true story on a film.
I was going to say, because I'm a member of the Screen Actors Guild, and they sent out copies of the movie. I've seen the movie, and I agree with you completely. It's a great, great movie.
Yeah.
And Tanya, and the actress who played her, the actress who played Harley Quinn, I'm blanking on her name for a second, they appeared together on the cover of the Hollywood Reporter. She's very happy with it. The interesting part is the person who won't talk about it is Nancy Kerrigan. And you notice the movie is called I, Tanya, not I, Nancy.
I, Nancy.
Ah.
And if you ask the people that they know in person, I don't know them in person myself. I never met them in my life. But Nancy wasn't also a beautiful person. If you ask another people that's surrounded by her,
I know
she was pretty arrogant. She was pretty doing bad things. But that came out when, like, she got injury. Now
she milked it just as much
like,
as
it's just
She
an
milked it,
opinion,
yeah.
guys. Just
Yeah.
She milked it. You know she milked it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, poor me.
And the
Look, I'm a
things-
victim.
And those type of things have to be forgiven. At least for the Tanya, I think if Nancy still doesn't want to talk about it, maybe she forgave her in her heart.
Or just doesn't like the fact there's a movie about her arch enemy.
Cut the life of Tanya, and she was available to do anything, not a show, not coaching, not nothing, but that one thing she could do in her life. You know what I mean? This is the one way she could make money and live, because she was very professional on what she do, and she would become the one of the top coaches. Why not? Again, the represent country with a flag with some representative skater on the ice, right? And the country lost maybe one of the top coaches in this point. You never know. I don't know what point is Nancy Kerrigan now.
She never coached, did she? Tanya never coached after that.
No, because nobody would to take kids. Actually, like the first couple of 3-4 years, she's been trying to do that. But the people, too much propaganda about that thing she done.
Wow.
That people didn't want to take kids to her. I heard about it. But she might be with character she got. But there is another thing, like you might be a very good skater, but not that famous and a top coach ever, because your capabilities to teach. Those are two different things. But with Tanya, I think she might be. I don't know. I love her.
Yeah, have you ever met her? Wait, let me ask
just
Marina,
love
have
her.
you ever met her?
No, I never met her.
I've had friends who met her and liked her a lot.
I mean,
you know?
I would love to meet her. I don't even know. Is she living in California? Yeah.
She occasionally visits California. I think she lives back east.
Yeah.
But a friend of mine in Seattle just posted a picture.
With her?
Yeah, she said she was posing for pictures on Polaroids at a car lot.
Oh, wow.
This is back in the
really?
90s, but it was really kind of
Oh, wow. How crazy.
There's a chintziness about it that's kind of charming. Hold on, let me show you the picture. Again, my friend Shauna Iverson has this great picture. Yeah, hold on. She just posted this last night, but
Oh, last night, huh?
yeah, it's a picture in the 90s, but it's really charming. Let me read the caption and I'll pass the pictures to you guys.
How convenient. Like,
Literally, this is just last night.
just last night, and we're having
Wow.
a skater here on our
Really?
show.
Shauna posts that time in 2002 when we got our Polaroid taken with Tanya Harding at the Ford dealership. And she signed the bottom of the picture. I said, pass it, Lily.
Isn't it
Isn't
beautiful?
that charming?
I would love to meet her.
That's charming. But Tanya, I
I
guess
enjoy her personality
Wow.
on the
Tanya charmed
Dumbest
them like,
Criminals. What is it? She hosts with those comedians.
But she posted these pictures. I think charged them like $2 to $5
Well,
to
I
sign
had
the
no
bottom.
Oh my
chance.
God, she's a young kid still.
That's that's
I sent
2002.
all my pictures with the most top of the famous people.
You sent me a lot of those pictures.
He
Yes.
got them as a president of the ISU, with the vice presidents of the ISU, with the top, the Plushenko, Yagudin, with the top skaters and everything else. It's for nowadays, from 2002, and nowadays, he knows. I hang out with all those mafia things. I'm just kidding.
Mafia types. Wow.
No, when you said that, when I
you're
said,
beautiful enough
he's
to be a mall.
When
The
I said,
ice rink mafia.
as a judge, not as many people able during the competition, only the presidents of the federation and the judges that invited in some type of dinner together, that you can meet all those president of the federation. Even if we visit, let's say, Italy, Berlusconi, back then it was Berlusconi, he invited to the us to the dinner, and it's only presidents of the federations and then judges. We had to meet some governors of the countries and stuff like that.
Did you meet Fantomas?
Yeah.
Did you meet Matteo Messina? You met Matteo Messina?
We did.
You had the famous Italian criminal.
And
They called him
then-
Fantomas and Matteo. But he was a folk hero,
Yeah.
too.
So those things are happening. So that's why it's when I said mafia, it's actually.
I
my
knew you were
friends-
referring to that. You
and
met
then-
you
and
met
my
Matteo
friends,
Messina.
They call, and every time, and then there is some limited things that on social media going to when you are judge and stuff. So you don't post or you don't do. So many things are happening. But my closest friend, when I send them out the pictures, well, we hang out with. Back then it was Ottavio Ciquanta. We're hanging out with Ottavio Ciquanta, the ISU president, and stuff like, wow, all the mafia guys around you.
Were they literally like broken noses and 5 o'clock shadow?
Yeah, with the golden teeth.
Wow.
With the kidnapping people, the skaters. I'm just kidding.
I'm telling you, Marina, we will
It's
break
just-
any competition of yours legs anytime you ask us to.
Oh. You should come and see some competitions that my skaters may be competing, and soon it's gonna be the Anaheim, the ISI World, and the California competitions, maybe the nationals. I will send you the list that my students compete in, and if any of the competitions you're interested in, I can just get you.
Yeah.
You will see there's like not only my students, there is many beautiful skaters are skating here.
And coaches. And
Coaches.
totally coaches.
Yeah.
All right, Blondie, tell us, what
So
is...
you guys, what I don't like about you, I know you're gonna be cheating on me and then inviting another people, right? I am the one beautiful. Why
You
do you
are,
need
Oh,
another
yes.
beautiful?
you are the most beautiful figure skater we've ever had on the
I
air.
think our most beautiful guest we've ever had. Sorry,
just-
other girls. Oh my God, we got tons of other girls that are
I
going to
won't
get
say
matched.
that. I won't say
We're
that.
just kidding around. I just told him you were in the room. I never wake up at 5 a.m. Okay?
This was a special thing you did just for us.
Hey,
Well,
we're honored.
You.
you, man, I did for you because, well, look, every ice rink gets open at 5 a.m. and I have a lot of offers from my students to wake up and go to teach. So as much as teach, as I earn money. So we could coaches get paid a lot. But well, I never wake up at 5 a.m. to go anywhere. I am the laziest person. Because I go to sleep around 2 or 3 a.m., sweetie. So I make so much effort to wake up at 5, guys, to put myself pretty
Hubba,
and
hubba.
come to see him at the studio. But
Thank
he,
you.
cheater, he's going to invite another people tomorrow. I know, I'm
Well,
just
nobody's in your class, baby. You're the most beautiful
They're
figure
just
skater.
we just having a bunch of ugly guys that play guitars tomorrow. So
Tomorrow's
No,
ugly
no.
musicians, ugly drummers.
welcome to Hot Chick Thursday.
This is Hot Chick Thursday, guys.
And I gave him a hug. And I usually, what I said, I hug the people I hate so I know how big to dig the hole in my backyard.
You're clever. You know, she's very clever. You're one of the funniest people on Facebook, besides me.
Well,
Yeah, I
you've
know.
just
That's how we
insulted
make-
her.
I tell you how much you make me laugh. You know,
Every day
and
I have some new
you
posts.
put a
Jeff-
little meme up there, a quote. and-
I wake up and it's something come up.
Jeff
I
makes me
don't know.
laugh every morning. He puts up penis pics.
And I laugh a lot. He does have a lot of.
You're not
cute
the first
posts.
woman to laugh at his baby-sized penis.
I mean, it's a thing. A lot of people see a morning show. Everybody, you know, people getting up to go to work, but sometimes they got a detour, and come here and give up.
Yeah, and I
give up
traveled
2 hours.
1 hour.
And
It
5
took me-
minutes.
and in 5 minutes. Actually, the direction gave me 1
We should be
hour and
fanning
5
you.
minutes. I make it by 50 minutes.
Yes.
Let me,
There
uh,
wasn't any traffic.
let me-
Now
by the way,
now
perfect.
that's a good thing. When you're coming in the morning, the traffic is usually going the other way.
Yeah, and I don't know what's gonna happen now because I'm gonna go the
Oh
other
no,
way.
still don't. You know what? The great thing is, by the time we're off the air, it'll be a 40-minute drive on the way back because you'll miss all the morning traffic completely.
Should I trust you guys?
Yes.
you
Do you know?
trust
Do you
us
know
in
where
your
the
eyes,
LA
baby.
Kings have you? They have hockey games there.
Yeah,
right?
of course.
You've been there.
I've been to
He's
many
a big
Kings
hockey
games.
fan. You've
Huge.
I know he told me that. Well, why I never met him? He's too big. How come I never?
we
I'm
got
in-
hockey games
players are
over
all
here
big.
all the time
I'm
at
in the-
Citizen Bank Arena.
I'm in the cheap seats, baby. In fact,
I'm not pretty familiar with this area, guys. I'm sorry.
no, but 2 years ago, I won the Pizza Hut LA Kings man cave, and they used to run that at every game of the. I had Bailey and all the cheerleaders in my living room. They all marched in with a widescreen TV with an Xbox, and I got a year of Pizza Hut,
Wow.
which is why I now belong to 24-hour fitness. I was eating pizza every day.
Was that? Did you get
I
the
love
jerseys
pizza.
and the?
Oh
King-
yeah, no. They give me the signed jersey because my brother Donald put me in for it. My brother Don won it for me, but I bitched at him. We went to the game and he was doing one of those things where he's filling out every family member for the. I go, come on, Donald. No one wins these stupid things, and I won, and I felt like an a-hole. That's why I brought you guys. Remember, they would give you. It was like Willy Wonka. You had a year.
It's like
of
a golden
tickets.
ticket.
You had a year of. I would remember we went to Hollywood for Adam West, and I pulled
Yeah.
out I could go into any Pizza Hut and leave with free pizza, as many as I
Wow.
wanted.
And you got all the hockey games free too.
All the hockey games were free. It was an amazing. I love the LA Kings. It's a little bit
Come
of
over
a.
to skate.
I want to see you on skates.
I've
I
been.
want to
wanna
see
laugh.
you in
Well,
skates too. Wow.
Okay.
So, okay. When? When?
We're available
as
anytime.
long as you promise to wear spandex, we're there.
I will.
Now we could go to the LA where you teach
Yeah.
LA Kings and we could skate and you could film and laugh at us fall. And,
I'm not gonna laugh at fools, but I'm gonna make you fall. I'm just
We've already fallen for you.
with a pretty serious face. I'm gonna make you fall, guys.
You have
Just
to.
come
You have
over.
to try it out with Russian vodka every time we fall. No, please.
no, are you?
She's nodding.
You're going back to the ring after the show, right?
Yeah, right now I
Wait,
got to
give us
leave
a
you
few
guys.
minutes. Don't leave us, baby. It's too early in the
I'll
day.
be back. I'll be back. But I already canceled a couple of my lessons in the morning. I would love to well, I didn't love to cancel, but I would be the next week and then the week after. All my students are competing, and I just don't want to miss any of my lessons. You know,
Of course.
just
Yes.
for that, for at least for my competitive students, and then it's gonna be 5 or 6 my girls and 1 boys that they competing, and I'm making routine and I'm working, and we have. Each of them, they have 2-3 different events in an ISI competition, and we're gonna. My travel time it starts Las Vegas to San Francisco, San Diego, Anaheim, and this and that. And then by the law of United States, they make the competition on the weekends for everybody to be able to participate and watch. So my weekends, some of them is a clubbing time. My weekends are on the ice. So guys, some of them, most of the weekends. So.
I have to ask, what is the hardest thing for you to teach, Marina? When you have a bunch of students, what is the hardest thing for them to learn when you're teaching them?
The very beginners. The very, very beginners, how to step on the ice, how to just balance, how to walk. Because if I teach somebody already competitive skaters, I can I can fix the mistakes. Right? And I don't have to even skate that much. I just can go, you have to kick your leg this way and keep your shoulders like that. But the very new skater, the beginners, are the hardest one to teach. When they are 3 years older, but I've seen 3 years old boys.
I saw the most adorable 3-year-old girl going out all proud, and she skated, and then she just like stops, and then she poses, and she...
There you go, and she does all the crossovers already. She's not even 4, but the very first days, and every individual is different. Some kids, they cry. You have to make them love things, to deal with kids. Okay, I'm a mom. I know how to deal with kids, but my kid is, I don't deal with them anymore.
I mean, do the kids say, I want to go ice skating, right? Those
Yeah.
are the kids that
Yeah.
make the good skaters,
Yeah,
right? The
and
ones
some
that
of the kids
that-
that just the parents, they brought them and they scared, they don't want to do that, or they don't understand what is it. There is cold.
But you don't know till you get them on. They just like, wait, I think I like this, right?
Of course.
And
But some kids, they like, I disliked it. I just don't want to do that. And they cry and they afraid and they hold the boards all the
Wow.
time. Like, and I had a student, they brought her when she was 2 years old and an 8 month, the Russian girl. And she came on the ice, tiny, small, and she started crying because she scares, okay? And it took me 2 months, but I love the parents that they were really pushy. They did not give up. They were bringing her every other day to skate until she got rid of that fear, right? She was holding the board, and she didn't scream, but she like silently was crying,
Wow.
tearing up, like, I'm afraid, I don't want to step, I don't want to do this. But it took me 2 months until she skates. And then when she learned to skate, now, well, it's also money. People pay for it a lot. So, well, they can make it, let's say, 3 times a week, right? Now she cries, she want to skate 7 days a week. Every time she comes to the ice, they barely can take her back home. I want to stay with Marina.
I don't want to go.
I don't want to go. I want to stay with Marina. I want to skate.
Who can blame her?
her?
I have to ask Marina, can you tell when you meet the first crop of kids coming in, can you tell just by looking at them who's going to be a great skater and who?
Well, actually, you can little tell that because depend of the body style, the proportion of the body, and you can easily, well, if you see the parents, so you can see the genes that if they're going to get bigger, if they're going to get taller, because the figure skating, it's, well, you can choose pair skating, pair skater, you can choose them as a dancer or single skater by the proportion of the bodies, the talent. Some kids are talented from the nature. For some kids, it costs a lot of effort to put, but still, from the first look, you little can tell. Not 100% what's going to happen in the future, but you little can tell how sporty they are, the athlete look kids, with really strong legs and stuff like that, you can tell. Some kids are not for becoming any type of athlete, you can tell. They can sing, but not the personality too. Even they little, they already have the personality. So if they are not thoughtful, so forget. Those kids,
They might want to just, maybe
for
they
fun.
want to be a tree or a rock on the ice capades.
Minnie Mouse.
Yeah.
In the future.
When you were
Minnie
8,
Mouse.
did you dream of being Minnie Mouse or a tree or a rock at the ice capades?
None of them. I dreamed of Ferrari. I was a little girl. I never had a doll to play. Whoever
Really?
brought me a doll, I used to throw him through the window, and we've been living on the 9th floor of the huge building. And everybody, I was cutting their hair, so we can't use, so they don't want to be.
You would cut the doll's hair?
I chopped them, and then I was
What are they-
throwing them up. I was like, I was really loved to get some weapons as a child, and I still have in my mother's home. She kept them all because it's only the cars, little cars, and the weapons and anything that shoots. And like,
Toy guns?
I got you wrong. You should be a boy. Why did you?
You never loved She-Ra?
I want a
Well,
tank and a
still-
Jeep and a bazooka.
And then still, I don't like the dolls. Honestly, if I have a lot of students, so tomorrow on the other day, a couple of my students, they have the birthday parties. So I choose as a gift anything, but not a dolls, even they are girls. I'm just.
What
getting-
if I come at you and I create a Marina doll on a skate in
ugliest
the
one
package?
ever.
Hey,
Collectible.
leave Just Looks out of this.
Yeah, if it's gonna look like me, it's just one is more than enough. Man.
Wow.
You
No,
don't
that-
need,
that-
it is gonna be too
That,
much. in
it
the
might be a
world.
minimum of 10,000 to make.
That's an
That's good. If we can sell it for
Yeah.
100,000,
Yeah.
I would like to. So we share.
Would you ever wanted to be the big endorsement girl when you were skating? Did you ever dream about being the Nancy Kwan or Michelle?
Of course, who doesn't dream that?
Michelle
Because, well, I was in the Soviet Union team. I've been chosen to that, and I've been skating 7 to 8 hours a day. Of course, one of my dreams, and I was practicing as much as everybody become like in that level. If not that one mistake in my life I made to get married. So I always laugh. I'm sorry.
no,
Did you
it's
ever
fine with
dream
us.
about what about gymnastics? I mean,
Yeah.
they're famous for gymnastics and
Yeah,
skate.
but-
Did you ever get into
Of
gymnastics? At all?
course, we do that professionally.
You have to do
Every-
that to do your flips and things,
Yeah,
right?
we separately take gymnastic and then professional ballet. Because if you're very competitive, you have to do them all. Because with dance, you have to be flexible to be able to do all the moves, even the layback spins. So the stretch you have to have enough, and then ballet that you can dance any dance in the world to get any character of the dance you wanted to represent. So I've been doing professionally and gymnastic and professional ballet with the figure skating. So that's why the figure skating is one of the hardest sport in the world, because it includes everything. Okay, you have to be talented with the music listening and with the dance and with gymnastic and stuff like that, you know.
I bet you can remember every song you skated to. What was the first song you competitive skated to?
That was Mozart,
Wow.
but it was a classical back then. Look, now it's changed. You can choose for nowadays any music you like, and it can be even the vocal in it. Back then, it's not a Soviet Union thing. It was the regulation. It should be only the classical music. Only classical, Bach, Beethoven, Mozart, polka.
We're gonna put some polka on to demand you dance.
The third competition, and then we always had two events. It was a short program and then free skating. One, the duration is 2.5 minutes, and the second one is a 4. And the third one was the polka. But one of my best musics that I chose, it was Carmen from Bizet.
Wow.
Yes.
I
Yes.
can see you
And
doing
I
that.
got my candidate of master sport down the music of Bizet. So I did many characters too, but back then it's just a classical music. No
Interesting.
vocal in there. No vocal in there. And maybe, I don't know, that what was it.
Interesting. I have to ask, what was your favorite? Wow, keep dancing, baby. When I got the camera on. Wow, that's adorable.
Forgive me, guys, for my bad English, sometimes with mistakes, and for Tonya too.
We can hear you say
Anybody
Lito all
is a
day.
fan of Nancy, I am not saying she's bad, but I love
Yeah,
Tonya.
Let me ask, what was the best ice skating movie? Ice Castles or The Cutting Edge?
Cutting edge.
Wow,
To
why?
me.
Every girl loves Cutting Edge. Could you tell me why?
I don't know, because it's more realistic to me.
Because Ice Castles is
Yeah, it's just like,
70s bullshit.
to me, yeah, it's
Pardon me.
not many bullshit in there.
Sorry.
I was in we had a celebrity ski race back in '84.
What the hell were you doing
and
there?
Lynn Holly Johnson was there. I was in my Spider-Man suit back in 1984, and I skied against her in a downhill race.
So you
Wow.
lost.
I
With a
ran
Spider-Man.
across the top of her skis, and she plowed her face right in the snow. I was so embarrassed, but
Do you
she.
have the picture of it, though?
I want to see a picture of you. I want to see a picture of
After the race,
Spider-Man.
I took my
kneecapping-
costume off, and then I went and talked, and she had no idea who I was. And then I was talking to her and saying how much I admired her work.
Oh, my God.
She's looking for the a-hole in the Spider-Man
But the best
costume.
part of it that she couldn't recognize, right? So what we're gonna do next? When you come over to my ice rink, so you need some costume on. I don't know, whatever, Iron Man or anything. So,
Right
so after all the falls, so nobody recognizes.
Yeah.
Right
I'm
after
not
Lynn-
gonna tell it was Jeff. So.
Right after Lynn
I'll
Holly
hold
Johnson kicks his testicles through the roof of his mouth. Wow. I have to ask,
Yes.
what was the harder, when you come off the ice, what aches first? Is it your back, your shoulders, your legs? After you've done, after you competitively skated, what hurts first and how fast do you hurt?
Your back.
Your back. Tell us why.
Yeah, because all the balance you hold.
Your center
The
core.
body. No, it doesn't hurt unless if you don't have the big belly.
Core.
Yeah.
No, the core.
Jeff has the big belly.
core, well, because I don't know, because the upper body, the legs, they hold your whole upper body weight, and then since we jump a lot during the routine during the competition, and we're balancing on one leg. So the most body weight goes to the one leg. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna keep yourself, the upper body pretty strong, very strong enough to hold the balance. If your upper body falls like this, so you can balance, then when you get off the ice, and then you just need a massage.
So your lower
you
back.
Yeah.
Wow.
And you have the separate massage guy. I'm just kidding. We don't have anybody.
Lucky a son of a bitch in Russia.
But those heavy skates build your legs up too, because
Yeah,
you're always lifting them up,
100%.
swinging.
Yes. And figure skaters, they have the one beautiful body type. But what I like about figure skating, when you figure skate, we and the swimmers, but the swimmers, they get these huge shoulders, which is also cute. I'm not saying anything, but all the muscles of your body, they work when you're on skates. Okay, it's impossible not to hold your shoulders and to skate perfectly, not to keep your arm and skate, even your head. One look side, and you're gonna be miserable. You're gonna fall on stuff. Like you concentrate your look, your neck, your head, your shoulder, your upper body, everything. So all the muscle, head to toe, are working. So it builds a beautiful body, as I have.
Wow.
Yeah.
We adore you, woman.
I'm sorry.
No,
I'm
no,
just kidding.
no, we're not.
Kidding around.
Well, but the interesting thing, I mean, you're kind of amazing. You started skating at 5. You learned English in 3.5 years.
Thank you so much.
You're
so
doing
many
the whole
mistakes.
show. I mean,
Let her finish. Go on.
I did 1.5 hours. I apologize, guys. It's I'll improve my English. And then, actually, when I write and my reading and my writing, with my writing, I don't have any trouble. I don't have
You
any
write
trouble.
English perfectly.
And then sometimes when you ask me a question right now, well, first of all, I'm little shy and it's little, nervous things. And then I'm thinking in different language. I'm translating it in English. It's like all the mess coming in my mind.
No, you're doing great. You're doing great.
I tried to keep you busy, and
No.
I tried to tell the things. I don't know if you...
Your translation.
I didn't upset you.
Wow, no, your pronouncements when you say little and stuff, you just smile.
Little? It's okay.
Yeah, it's adorable.
I'll try.
Don't you think?
I don't think now. You put me and Patrick in Moscow for 3 years. I don't know. Are we going to speak? Is it what I've told people that when they move to other countries, like my friend Jay I grew up with, he moved to Germany. He just said you hear a lot of repeated words with body language a lot of times, and you're there for so long. And going to school, you start picking up the certain words and what they mean and for communication.
And it depends what you do, who you work with too, maybe. Because, so let's say my people or any other people, when they work for their own community, so they don't speak English much, right? Let's say they work in a bakery when they're surrounded by, I don't know, Russian, Georgian, whatever is people, right? They speak their own language. So you don't practice English much. But when my job is coaching, and, well, I work with kids or adults or whatever, so I got no choice. Nobody speaks my language to me back. So, and then you picking the words even from kids, You just constantly repeating that they constantly talk the same thing or stuff like that. School doesn't give me much. I went to the Valley College for a Valley College for like maybe a 6 month, and then I passed the test like in 1 month, in 2 months, and then. To be honest, the college in my age, it doesn't give you much. I mean, you're just a waste of time.
Yeah.
And just a couple of my friends were going there, and I'm like,
I'll bet you were hit on a lot.
Yeah, and it was boring, and I'm like, it doesn't teach me anything. And then when you put somebody in, if we go to Sweden, one of the best countries, I love to be there, and then you live there for 1 month, you constantly listening to the same language, you eventually speak, I've been living in German for 1.5. I was working and then doing some contracting for 1.5, 2 months, and then I spoke German. Well, it's Achtung, and whatever.
Is German that much different than Russian? I know this sounds
very
naive.
different. It's mostly like an English, but the different pronunciation, the same alphabet you have. We don't have the same alphabet, but you guys have with German same alphabet, even. Same words, but the pronunciation different, and the meaning is different. And then whatever you said in German, it seems to be like it's fighting. you know, if like whatever the
Yeah.
sound of the words.
A lot
but
of the
it's
German,
beautiful.
it sounds real vulgar.
Yeah, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's just a pronunciation. The same way for Sweden and stuffs. But you guys have to forgive me. I have to go. I don't want to
We've got
leave
10
you.
minutes left, baby.
Yeah, and
10
then-
minutes
No,
left.
hey,
I
we'll
can't
finish the
make it.
show. We'll keep streaming and let's do our little photo session.
Yeah, let's grab some
Yeah.
photos with our adorable Russian friend. Hey, Marina, before you go, this is the most important thing. Where can we promote yourself? What sites can people follow you on?
At LA Kings.
Kids who want to learn from you, tell us about that.
If you go to the LA Kings Valley Age ice rink website, there is my name as Marina Soroka with my old title, with my old achievement, how much I charge, because that's the most important
Most
part.
important, she's now remember, boys, she's now a capitalist.
I work in one of the best places with one of the best coaches at LA Kings Valley Age ice rink, which located in 8750 Van Nuys Boulevard, Panorama City, California 91402.
Honestly, Jeff and I could listen to you say California all day.
California.
You look a very sexy Arnold Schwarzenegger.
California. I tried my best.
Beautiful. Hey, Marina, thank you on behalf of Jeff, me, and the
Thank you so
listeners.
much, guys.
You know?
And forgive me that I have to go on for anything
Well, you're
you
posing
didn't
for
like.
pictures
We're
first.
glad that you spent as much time as you did.
Keep listening,
you,
gang. We're
guys.
going to keep talking while on the air with her.
Rolling here, let's-
We're rolling. We're still on the air, but we can't let the Russian bombshell leave without taking pictures with
Yeah,
us.
that's right.
Where are we going to take the
Right over here.
Against the wall.
Against the logo, baby.
Right here.
Step into
And
the.
I put this shirt.
So,
I know the
beautiful.
Russia is bad, but the Vietnam is not bad, right?
Yeah, show that off.
Yeah,
Okay.
show that. Here we go. Oh, get over here, Jeff. No, the Russia's not bad. You've convinced us
Did
otherwise.
you bring your phone to take pictures
Yeah,
too?
of course.
Good.
Okay.
I can get your phone if you want. Smile, don't cut my head off. Hey, you cut my head off, hey, hell. I can reach your phone from here.
Okay. Do the famous.
Oh, yes. I will lift you up. Hold on.
Wait,
You have
you
one
got two
phone or
phones.
use
Oh
it?
my gosh.
Two phones.
No,
What are you,
this is
Russian?
the new one. I just didn't transfer the
Oh,
phone.
you're still transferring and.
This is
okay.
the one I sent you the pictures, but I'm gonna transfer that phone number
Okay.
to here. So
All right, Marina, put your right arm around my neck. Okay, so
Wow, high
in there, Jeff.
definition.
don't cut my head off. Get in here. Join us. Here we go. Oh, thanks, baby. And one
Okay,
more.
do the
Okay,
famous
I'm
one
gonna
where
lift
you pick her up.
Put your arm around my neck. Yoink.
He's the word strongest monster.
Thank
Okay.
you. Make sure my fly is up. This is our Christmas card. Smile, baby, from much of a love. Yoink.
what
Marina.
about with you?
Oh, you're
No, let him take a picture with
Oh,
with a fool.
Hey, I'm long arms.
Here.
So here we go.
Take a picture of me and her.
Yawn.
Too short.
How dare you? Yawn. I'm not going to pay you. No.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be kissing me. Hold on. Take it. Here we go. Did you take one? Here we go. Get out of that picture. Thank you. You should do well.
Thank you so much.
No,
guys.
Marina, thank you so much. It meant the world to us. We've been waiting for your arrival all week.
Aw.
Come here, you. Hey, next time, stay. Hey, listen.
Oh my God!
Next-
I need to grow it.
I apologize. Hey, Marina.
Yes.
Next time you come, stay long enough that we can take you to
I can
breakfast,
do.
okay?
I can do that.
We would love that.
I can't wait to get on skates. I'm gonna bring a
Anytime.
a hockey stick so we can beat each other up.
Thank you
Let me
so
open
much,
the door.
guys.
Hey, thank you, my queen, for coming in.
I got you.
We bow you, baby. Thanks, gorgeous. Thank you for coming in. We're on the air, Jeff. We're on the air, Jeff. All right, door one. Hey, listen, man. We love you. Thank you. Oh, my God. You do that so beautifully. Let's get back on the air. Lots to tell you, but I'll tell you afterwards. It's all good.
Oh, okay. Did he? I'm not sure.
I'll tell you, hey, we're on the air. Get back on.
Oh,
Dutchie also brought
Dutchie
us
came
coffee.
in here and rescued us. I
Yeah.
saw him go in this booth.
Dutchie also brought us coffee.
All right.
So do you want to get some coffee?
Thank you, Dutchie.
Thank you, Dutchie. Hey,
Thank
it's
you,
me, Pat
Ryan,
Jenkins.
Jimmy. Let's do the Ryan and Jimmy show right now.
Yeah, we got 10 minutes. Wow, hey, thank you, Roy and Jimmy, but especially Dutchie Holland, our esteemed
Yes,
station owner.
thank you for coming in and checking up on and
jumped
making
in,
sure we
saved
got
our
things
butts.
going.
He brought us coffee too. God bless that guy.
Oh yeah, God bless that guy.
You're my favorite. You're my favorite British. That's my favorite Russian.
Yes. Oh my
After
gosh.
Ivan Drago.
Yeah. Jimmy and Roy, I wish you were here. You probably wish you were here
Roy
too, Jimmy.
asked to be here twice.
Yes, yes. And we want to thank Roy Brewster for going to our sponsors.
Yeah,
Let's
Roy.
plug our sponsors.
Yeah, Roy Brewster went to our sponsors. I was going to do that while she was here, just to hear her say New York Bagel and that wonderful accent.
New York bagels.
No, you're making her sound
New
like
York.
You're
New
making,
York bagel.
You're making her sound like a James Bond villain. That was not a James Bond villain.
Well, Roy goes, he heard us, and he know that Jimmy was here. We plugged our sponsor, New York Bagel Company. And
Hey,
Rancho
Jeff, where
Cucamonga.
do you go in Rancho Cucamonga when you got a hankering for Big Apple bagels?
Oh, gosh. I drive to the corner of Foothill and Archibald in Rancho Cucamonga, and I'd go talk to our friend Jamal, who makes the most delicious blueberry bagels, which is my bagel of choice.
Me and Dan the Man Rupp prefer the everything bagel because it's every damn thing and you wash it down with coffee and it's amazingly good. But you know what? When I'm done with my New York bagel, I hanker for a cigar and a big glass of craft beer.
Well, you want to go to the Pacific Wine Merchants and Cigar Exchange with the largest cigar humidor. Come be like Hannibal from A-Team and have your plan come together.
I would love to sit in their patio, listening to the music stylings of Eric Alagi or perhaps of Roger Rackett if he's still alive.
Yes.
And watch the sun set on the IHOP.
Yes, right at the Metrolink in downtown Upland.
This is, you know what? This was a great show. She was really cool, really smart, and she was here from the beginning.
Yeah, she was here from the beginning, and she, like I said, we want to thank all our guests who have taken the time to drive an hour in from
Denny,
LA.
Betty Beware, everybody. You know what I mean?
Hollywood. I think maybe Robert Craighead drove from West Hills.
God bless Robert Craig. And what's our friend, the Borg? The Borg.
Craig Reed.
Craig Reed
from
is great.
Huntington Beach.
Craig Reed is a surfer. So he had a.
Yeah.
Craig Reed came to see us in a Woody. He was driving a Woody with his board on the roof.
Yeah.
I thought that was so damn California.
And Deborah Lamb. She's been
Lamb.
on our show twice, all the way
Deborah
out
Lamb
from Woodland
Northridge.
Hills.
No, Northridge. That's further
Northridge,
than
even
Woodland
further
Hills.
away.
Yeah, so Deborah Lamb, I mean, that was.
And everybody, you know who you are.
Yesterday.
Yes.
Our girl yesterday, name her.
That's Donna Lee Heising.
Donna Lee
from
Heising
Huntington Beach.
Drove all the way out from Huntington Beach. I mean, we appreciate you guys, and we love great. The thing is, doing interviews, and I've been doing them since grade school for like the school paper here and there. Jeff feels the same way I do. It's great to meet cool people with different experiences and different stories, and get them to enunciate them, tell us about them. I mean, Marina, which was your find. I mean, she was just a cool damn guy. Steve Joyner has brought a lot of people we would have never met before.
Yes, thank you, Steve Joyner.
You know what I mean? I mean, I just love hearing. One of the great things about being a writer and being a journalist is you get to hear people's different experiences and different stories. Her story. We've never had a figure skater on the Jeff Sargent show.
No.
You know, and I mean,
a true international athlete.
Yes, literally somebody who competed at an Olympic level. And she was really shy and humble about it, which was really interesting to me.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I mean, my main worry is because she left before 9, she's going to run smack dab into traffic. I told her, once you're off the air here, you'll be fine. But, you know.
And we just, you know who you are. Everybody's been here.
You're all
we want to
appreciated.
thank everybody.
Yeah, we appreciate it. And you know what? When Dan's sick this week, Jimmy Shaw and Roy jumped in to help. And today, Dutchie, I mean, I was so touched. Dutchie ran in to make sure we were on the air and everything was going smoothly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the rerun will be great. You know,
Okay, great.
Dutchie
Awesome.
said the rerun will be on later today. He's got to do some editing.
Yes, okay, great. And
keep talking.
When you come to the station, you're going to get a better interview. We'll give you the full 2 hours. You're not getting, a phone call. You might, you'll get your. Sometimes we'll go an hour, 2 hours. Nobody's in here, but better than 15 minutes on the phone or 20 minutes on the phone. You get your full 2 hours, and it's more intimate. When you got everybody can see you. It's more every. You got it. We're having a little party, a little get together. It's 100% more better. 100%. 100%.
Did you say more better?
Mo better. I didn't, wow, no
What?
water, coffee.
By the way, she was on the air. I didn't realize this. I gave her cold water at the beginning of the hour. She forgot it out there. She did all this time on the air without a drink.
Well, she was, she wasn't comfortable, I guess, with live streaming from her phone.
Well, she was or was
No,
not?
but I taped it all on my phone. I'm out of power, but I got some pictures.
The important thing is you got it done and you got the pictures. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I mean, send those to me for God's sake.
So tomorrow is the Fallen Electric with Jimmy. Remember Jimmy Ganzer?
Yeah, oh, Jimmy's coming back.
Remember him and Joe? They came and did acoustic. Here now they're going to have the whole band doing an unplugged acoustic set.
By the way, no offense to Jimmy Ganser and the boys, but what a disappointment for Hot Chick Friday.
Oh, no Hot Chick Friday. Well, they can
but-
bring their hot chick. They can bring their,
You
you never know who they're going to bring.
You're not going to top Denny and the Russian and Donna Lee Heising.
No.
What a great week. I really enjoyed this week on the show, by the way, I have to say, you know. And
It was a good week. We didn't do a show yesterday. We didn't have any live guests, and
we had no live guests.
And we had nobody in the window. So what are we going to do?
Exactly.
Punch each other
Here's
out
puppet
and like,
shows. We'll have a sword fight.
New puppet show. I'm Roy.
Yeah. I'm Jimmy. Yeah.
We don't even have a Roy and Jimmy puppet.
I don't even have a Roy and Jimmy sock. And plus, Roy brought bagels and Jimmy
that was great, man. We'll have to come invade their show with Kudos Pizza.
Yeah, Jimmy and Roy are sponsored by Kudos Pizza, which we're going to promote.
And
we're promoting them right now because Roy went to Jamal's and got some New York bagels.
yeah, so what we got to do is go to Kudos Pizza, and we'll surprise Roy and Jimmy.
With Kudos Pizza on the air. Wouldn't that be funny?
Kudos, yes, and we'll come in and we'll have some pizza with these guys.
Hell yeah. I'm not going to just give them a pizza.
All right.
4 minutes to go, peeps.
Now let's go out to the freeway and sell them oranges and get our rent paid.
That's how
Today's the first, right?
Today's the, yeah.
Oh, man. Bills
Oh, my God.
Bills are due.
Tomorrow's Groundhog Day.
Oh, man. Where's Bill Murray?
Bill Murray is dead. No, he's alive.
No, he was dead. Remember, you killed Bill Murray.
Zombieland.
Zombieland.
Actually, great story. I actually interviewed the writers of Zombieland who also wrote Deadpool.
Wow.
And they revealed the Bill Murray cameo that everyone loves in the movie.
Yeah.
It was originally going to be Patrick Swayze.
Whoa.
And Swayze at the last minute had to turn it down because he had other stuff going on.
Was this before he got sick?
But he was dead before Zombieland came out.
Oh my God.
So he
was already starting to go
yeah,
down.
that's they figured out that's why he turned it down. He must have just gotten sick. But they realized if we put him in our lovable little comedy, he would have been dead by the time the film opened. There would have been nothing funny about it.
Oh, Bill Murray was the better choice.
And Bill Murray is so funny. They said he ad-libbed that line where he's dying and they ask him if he has any regrets. And he goes, maybe Garfield.
Oh my God. He was in the Garfield
He's
movie.
the voice of the cat in Garfield and Garfield 2, A Tale of Two Kitties.
Why didn't they use who is the voiceover actor in the cartoon?
Lorenzo Music. 1, Bill Murray's a bigger star. And 2, Lorenzo Music was inconveniently dead.
Well, Lorenzo, didn't he do
He was
the
a writer.
Ghostbuster voice too?
He did, but people
In
forget.
the cartoon.
People forget that, yes, he did. But people forget that Lorenzo Music was also a writer. He wrote a bunch of Mary Tyler Moore's with other people and stuff.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And he just had this goofy voice people liked, and that's why he wound up on the air. I mean, if you watch, did you see Hulk? Thor Ragnarok.
Yes.
Do you remember the rock monster?
Yeah.
Stan or whatever his name is, Brog, whatever.
Yeah.
That's the voice of the director, the Kiwi director who did What We Do in the Shadows.
I had no idea.
Because you have this menacing looking rock monster, but he has this charming, sweet New Zealand accent, you know? And Mike Hill, who designed the monster for Shape of Water, the merman in Shape
Now,
of Water.
Mike Hill, did he also design, or was it Steve Wang, the Abe Sapien? Who did Abe Sapien?
That was Steve Wang.
That was Steve Wang, but they're very similar.
No, they're not very similar. Look at them, because I talked to Mike about this. And he was worried about the similarity, and Guillermo del Toro told him, no, I'm the guy who did both monsters, and they're nothing alike, you know?
Okay.
Because Abe Sapien's more fish, and because he had the merman in Shape of Water, because he had love scenes and stuff, had to be more man-like. That's why he's a human mouth.
Yeah, he was more human quality.
There's a reason the Creature from the Black Lagoon couldn't get any girls, because, you know, as beautiful and sleek as that costume is, he's all, you know, he's spiky.
He couldn't express himself emotionally as he in Shape of Water.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at if you look at humanoids from the deep, they express themselves repeatedly.
Oh yeah.
You know, but the cool thing is, he told me that Guillermo del Toro does the voice of all his creatures, going all the way back to Kronos.
Really?
Yeah, they said he'll put in his voice as the creatures, and I interviewed Robert Rodriguez once. And Robert Rodriguez, when he did From Dusk Till Dawn, I think it's the rat vampire. Remember when Tom Savini's turning into that rat creature?
Yeah.
He snuck in. Rodriguez had a new baby at the time. He taped the baby squalling and made that the voice of the rat creature at one point in From Dusk Till Dawn.
Wow.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah. We got 5 minutes. About time to get out of here, Pat.
It is indeed. In fact, 5:02, I think, is when we walk out the door. I know we're a little bit late.
Yeah, so I got to go into the control booth, and I got to click on, like Dutchie told me to, that little thing to stop the streaming.
I can't thank Dutchie enough, and I'll tell you why. He saved our butts, and I'll tell you why off the air.
Because I didn't know when on the one screen, if I clicked everything properly.
Trust me, I'll tell you off the air. Dutchie did us major solids today.
Okay, great.
Dutchie, thank you.
Thank you.
Jimmy Shaw, thank you.
And thank everybody at
Ken
Chaotic
Joyner,
Radio.
lovely Marina. And then Dan Rupp, we love you. Get well soon.
Yes, we'll get his update on that. We'll call Rhonda up, find out. Maybe we should go there right now.
You know, probably. Hey, people, we love you. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Hasta la vista, baby.